In this video, Dr. Tim Shanahan responds to the question, what should teachers consider when selecting narrative text?
With primary kids, it is important to have text that students have a reasonable chance of reading, of decoding the words and so on. And so just like with any text, we're going to be concerned about the decodability. Clearly, we want students to be able to apply their decoding skills, to be able to recognize most of the words. Perhaps we're going to be introducing some new words that outstrip students' current decoding skills, and we're going to want to make sure that those kinds of words are repeated frequently enough to make it worth the children's attention on those. And so that's just a real basic foundational thing that's important no matter what we're having kids read. When it comes to stories, something that's a little bit more specialized is it's really important that the stories have a kind of a completeness, that there really be a beginning and a middle and an end. A third thing to consider really has to be, what is it that you're trying to teach? If you're trying to teach students to use and apply a particular reading comprehension strategy, for instance, it's really important that the story be aligned with that. For example, if you want students to predict, it really helps if there are some possible alternatives of what might happen at particular points, rather than the story that it's just so obvious what's going to happen next. And I guess a final thing, and this is just as important as the other ones, you'd certainly like a story that students are likely to be interested in, that they might think is funny or interesting, or that might reveal something that kids at that age level are thinking about, like friendship and those types of topics.